Welcome to My Opinion here on My Opinion TV. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so as soon as a video is released, you'll be one of the first to be notified. And today we're looking at a long time story, and it's basically the anniversary of the death of seven men in Breaton in St. Catherine. Revisiting that morning, we see a story in the Jamaica Gleaner, and we just want to talk about it. Nice story and the Jamaica Gleaner website about the death of the seven men exactly 20 years ago. And it says after almost 2 decades of remaining vacant, the death house in Breaton, St. Catherine, where seven men were controversially killed in a police operation exactly 20 years ago, now has its first occupant. Rudolph Lewis, a Rastaman returning resident who was overseas when the deadly operation unfolded, told the Sunday Gleaner that he can feel the dead men's presence in the lot 1088 Fifth Sealway, Breaton Phase 3 home. Now, my opinion is that he's a brave man based on what a lot of persons are saying. Persons in the community say that house is a ghost house, but face the reality of it. He has nowhere to live, nowhere to stay, and the house is there. He's not fearful, so he gladly grasps the opportunity to stay in there. Well, I can tell you after years and everything gets normal, Rudolph Lewis, the Rastaman, might have a problem because the persons who own the house, their family, might have a vested interest in the property. And we know how property and house and all those things can create mayhem and havoc in person's family and in person's life as things get better. He said the place there and it was available, he said, explaining his decision to move into a building where many feared to live. Jamaican people have this notion about duppy stories, all these kinds of duppy stories, and these men would haunt you, and these persons would do that. Well, some persons are not fearful, some are. Well, I guess the Rastaman is not fearful. That's why he's there. He said he got into some problems overseas and come back home. At the time, he had nowhere to live, and he just not pay attention to certain things. And he said they will not physically harm you. He said sometimes me feel them presence, but me not really don't think about it. Me in the house now, me not pay them no mind. Them still come and do what them a do. Me just go through and cook my food and eat my food. And unbothered Lewis told the Gleaner. Well, 2 decades on, he said the incident is still an hot topic in the community. Well, we all remember Jamaica. We wake up that morning, March 14, and heard about the seven men that were killed in Old Breaton. Persons have various concept of what happened, various ideas of what happened, person's opinion, and then the leader of the operation, Senior Superintendent Renita Adams, is different. Some persons differ. Some persons believe he did an excellent job. Some persons believe it was extrajudicial killing. Anyway, people talk and tell me what go on. That's what the Rastaman said. Since me come out here, what him hear what happened, admitting to being terrified at some of the things he heard. Indeed, the incident had rocked the entire community. Well, an elderly resident recalled the early morning operation on March 14 when cops from the Senior Superintendent Renita Adams-led Crime Management Unit and the St. Catherine South Police stormed the community. Lancelot Clark 19, Christopher Grant 17, Curtis Smith 20, Tamoya Wilson 20, Reagan Beckford 15, Andre Virgo 20, and Dane White 19 would be killed in the operation. So when this operation took place 20 years ago, all these men except Curtis Smith, Tamoya Wilson and Andre Virgo was in their teens. Now, most of these persons you add 20 years to their lives now. Some would be 40, some would be 39, some would be 37 and 35. but their lives were cut short in controversial circumstances as it relates to they being killed by an operation-led police operation. Now the residents were saying it happened about 5 o'clock. The whole place blocked. The roads blocked off with police and everywhere. Whole heap of police because they said notorious persons were inside the house. He told the Sunday Gleaner, we hear said the youth, them vicious and things so the police can't take no chances. You know, and before the police ran into this operation on these 7 men, the principal of Heartland's all-age school, Keith Morris, had been shot to death in a robbery attempt hours leading up to this incident. And the police at the time said these were the men who did that. The police also said 4 firearms and 29 rounds of ammunition were taken from the house. Well, as I said, after that, the police claimed that they came under gunfire. They approached the small house and returned the fire from outside. And the time they gained control of the house, all 7 suspects lay dead. Residents, however, said some of the suspects were alive when the police captured them. The incident sparked outrage from local and international human rights groups, also sparkled debate about police abuse and extrajudicial killings in Jamaica. So as I was saying, that as long as your memory can drag back to that incident, we know these were the cry of a lot of persons at the time. Retired UK Army Major David Hawley, an expert on close quarters combat, concurred that this was extrajudicial killing. From the contradictory police statement and the lack of damage to the property, it is more likely that the police forced their way in the building without warning and took the occupants by surprise. The whole point of mounting this type of operation at this time of night. Well, the incident is one of the major black eyes which led to the 2003 dismantle of the Adams-led CMU, which had reportedly been involved in at least 40 killings since Prime Minister P.J. Patterson set it up in 2000. In February 2005, nearly 4 years after the 7 men were killed, Constables Leon Buckner and Miguel Ibanks, Corporal Wayne Constantine, Leroy Edwards, and Sergeant Raymond Miller were freed of murder charges in relation to the incident. During the trial, then Deputy Superintendent Colonel Biggerford testified that when he went to the premises at about 6:45 a.m. on the day of the incident, he went inside the house where he saw bullet holes in the window and on the walls. He said he observed a curtain in front of the kitchen window with bullet holes with blackening around the holes. Ford said he removed the curtain, examined the kitchen window, and found bullet holes on the window, which indicated that the shots were fired from both inside and outside. He also said he picked up 15 spent shells inside the house. But under cross-examination, Ford said based on the experience and training, the blackening around the holes meant that the shots were fired from inside. Well, not gonna read much into this because, as you know, it's just a nice story. You can go on the Jamaica Gleaner website and read it. I mean, at that time, the whole country was in shock. Adams, a colored policeman. Some persons love him, some people hate him, some persons believe he did an excellent job. Some people believe he was just all about killing. He killed persons without, not to say that he killed innocent persons, but he killed persons who were not caught in the act or anything. But Andre Williams of the Jamaica Gleaner did this story, and I said I won't expound too much on it. You can go onto the Jamaica Gleaner website and read more about this story. But 20 years after, and the situation is still talked about in Old Breaton. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell so as soon as a video is released, you'll be one of the first to be notified. Until next time, look out for the children. Look out for a loved one, look out for a neighbor. And most of all, keep it locked on My Opinion TV.